Live from Iowa City, we have Big Ten gymnastics action this evening as the Iowa Hawkeyes host the Michigan State Spartans. I'm Ben Collin here alongside Jax Kranitz on BTN+. Now both these teams are looking to rebound after losses last week. The Hawkeyes fell to Penn State and Michigan State fell at number 16 Nebraska. Now for Michigan State, that was their fifth best performance in school history. Unfortunately came in a loss, but put up a score of 196.55 in the loss. For the Hawkeyes, they're looking to have Lauren Guerin lead them tonight. She is third all-time in floor. She did that against Maryland earlier this year. And now, Jax, what are the keys to tonight's matchup between the Hawkeyes and the Spartans?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the Spartans, they've shown really great gymnastics on floor. They're really strong on floor, so from them, we just want to see that kind of consistency on floor and have that carry over to the other events. And for the Hawkeyes, honestly, consistent, clean routines from them. They have the talent, they have the skills. We just need to see them perform tonight.
Awesome, thank you, Jax. Now, Jax, you did gymnastics yourself. Is it weird being back in here watching gymnastics from the sidelines?
Yes, it is a little bit weird because I was once on the floor and out there with everyone, but it's also really cool to kind of get a side of the action from watching it. So
awesome. Well, we should have an exciting one here this evening.
Absolutely. As
both of these teams ranked in the top 40. It should be a very good matchup that we have on our hands. And now how the order will go tonight. The Hawkeyes will start on vault, and we will see Michigan State kicking it off on the uneven bars. We do have an exciting lineup. Both of these teams very strong. Plenty of gymnasts ranked in the top 20 in the Big Ten.
Lots of talent here for sure.
Definitely lots of talent. When you look at these lineups, that floor exercise, like you mentioned earlier, for Michigan State, very, very strong. That's where they're going to be bringing it. And we're lucky we'll get to see it right in front of us.
Right in front. I'm so excited to be here, honestly. It's great to see the action from right here.
We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. This is going to be a great one between these two. We're just moments away from getting underway. We'll bring you all the scores here from Iowa City. BTN Plus bring you full coverage of tonight's action from Iowa City. Second part of our doubleheader, and as we get it underway, we'll have Alex Greenwald on the vault for the Hawkeyes.
Wow, really nice vault from Alex. That was really good. You saw the good block she got off of the table and just a small hop on the landing. So that was a really strong start for the Hawkeyes.
Now coming into today, Alex was a 9.675. That's what she'd put up earlier this year. Sophomore for the Hawkeyes from Coral Springs, Florida.
Yeah, that was a very good vault from Alex. That's the kind of consistency we like to see. Very few gymnasts can get that kind of block off the table, and Alex does it really well. So.
Next up for the Hawkeyes on vault, that will be Maddie Solomon. But first we'll have Tristan Brown on bars. She's been a 9.775 on the year. Junior from DeWitt, Michigan.
She's got really nice lines here. We see she caught that release move. That's a very difficult move. And looks like she was supposed to go over the bar, but she corrected and she didn't have a fall. And that's the kind of comeback we like to see during a routine. If it doesn't go as planned, they kind of do something to make sure that they don't fall.
Sort of rolling with the punches, whatever you're drawing. But
exactly.
That's one thing that I've noticed being at these meets. A lot of resiliency.
Wow, and a really nice vault from Maddie Solomon. Again, she got a lot of height off the table. You could see her block and only a small hop on the landing. What you really want to see in vault is high vaults and stick the landing and good form. Always good form and
Solomon,
a stuck landing.
Just a freshman from Waterloo, Iowa, just up the road here.
Yep.
Competing in front of home state crowd.
Yes.
Up next on bars, that is going to be Nia Smith. We'll see her in the all-around. One of two Spartans competing the all-around here today. Smith along with Leah Mitchell.
Being an all-around gymnast is very special because it requires so much talent to be able to compete in all 4 events.
Absolutely, and I'm sure a lot of stamina as well, as you've got 4 events packed into such a tight period.
That endurance has to be up.
And now as scores come in throughout the evening, we will bring those to you. We don't have scores on those first few runs on the vault, but as soon as we get them, you'll hear them here first. Now, Jax, is this ever a little bit stressful when you have this delay before you start your routine? Is that something that's going to be on the minds of the gymnast getting ready to go?
It definitely can get to you if you let it. We used to call it icing. We would get ice before, kind of like a commercial break. But you just kind of get in your zone and tell yourself your key words and go through your routine, and you should be set if you do that.
Our first few scores in on the vault for the Hawkeyes. Solomon 9.8 and Alex Greenwald a 9.75.
Those are very good scores. This is the kind of consistency you like to see. Not really a huge difference between the scores. Not like the highest scores, but definitely consistent and solid.
The great thing for both of them, both scores were season highs for the two of them, just inching up a little bit at a time. That's what you want to see. And I'm sure those are things that make Coach Larissa Libby very happy to see that continuous progress.
And it's definitely in gymnastics, it's definitely about the progress. You like to see gymnasts take steps forward and every time they compete.
Now, as we mentioned, Nia Smith on bars.
Oh, looks like she just missed her release move. She was supposed to catch that and continue her routine. So now she'll have 30 seconds to chalk up before she can get back, before they take a deduction.
And what do you think about at this point? When something like this happens, what's going through the gymnast's head?
Yeah, what you have to do when that happens is honestly take a deep breath and focus on the rest of your routine, because you still have a job to do. You still got to get out there and show your stuff and finish your routine for your team. So we'll see if she can recover from this. And she decided to actually do the release again, because if you don't, you get an even bigger deduction. A little bit of legs apart on the overshoot. She's doing a pretty good job hitting her handstands, though, and that's very important. See if she can get the stuck landing here. Just a little hot, but really good recovery from her. That's what we really like to see, especially when you fall. An athlete can get right back up and continue.
Next up on vault for the Hawkeyes, that's Danny Castillo, the freshman. 9.725. She did that against Penn State earlier this year. She just joined the team here at Semester.
Yes, she did, and here she goes. Wow, a really, really nice vault. That was very good. Wow. You could see she got really good height off the table again, and what we're seeing tonight from the Hawkeyes is very controlled landings, and that's very important in vault because it's so short and there's so little to watch that every little bit has to be perfect. And they're doing a really good job of showing that.
Absolutely, and I imagine for the judges, that's one of those key points that they're watching. They see that landing. Quick score update for you. Tristan Brown from Michigan State, 9.35 on her routine on bars. Elena Rabin will be up next for the Spartans. 9.825 is her season high. The sophomore from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. And now, Jax, when you watch the different run-ups and the beginning of the routines on bars, is it a different strategy? You start from different sides, whether you're going to go to the low or the high first, or
Yeah, it really just depends on the kind of routine you want to have. So clearly she mounted from the low bar so she could do her first release, which is called a Jaeger, straight into an overshoot connection, which was very clean. This is about to be a very good routine if she could just finish out. And she hit that last handstand, which the judges love to see. And she will then do a front giant to a toe-on pike front dismount. Wow. Nice routine from her. She should definitely be proud of that. Only a small step on the landing, but the rest looked good.
Nia Smith's routine just a moment ago, 9.05 for her. And we will get Rabin's score here very soon, but as you mentioned, definitely a routine to be proud of.
Yeah, definitely. She should be proud of that one.
Up next, Ariana Agripides, the freshman for the Hawkeyes on vault.
Ari is a very powerful gymnast. Wow. Really good vault again. I keep saying the same thing, but the Hawkeyes are producing on vault this evening. Her hop on the landing was a little bit bigger, so she'll get a little bit more of a deduction, but her height and her form off the table was perfection. So most of the deduction you'll see on this one will be from the landing.
I'm sure the coaches are excited to see this quick and fast start there for the Hawkeyes on the vault. They're definitely coming out hot here tonight.
Yep. Like I said, they're coming in with that consistency, those consistently high scores. That's the key.
Danny Castillo, 9.775 on the vault. As up next, Michigan State. That's Jory Jackard.
Really nice first handstand there from her. Really good Jaeger. You saw she got good height off the bar. The judges definitely look for that. And her form is impeccable. She's got nice pointed toes and straight legs. It's very important. And she hit every handstand in her routine, so she'll have 0 deductions from that. See if she can get the stuck landing. And almost there, but that was almost a perfect routine.
And Jory Jacker, just a freshman, but she had been a 9.9. Did that in that amazing performance that they put up against Nebraska.
Yes, that will definitely be a high score.
Rabin had a 9.75. And we'll wait for Jackard's score. Up next on vault for the Hawkeyes, that's Bridget Killian.
So it looks like she began and then stopped, but if you don't touch the vault, you can have another chance without any deduction or anything. So
just a clean slate here.
Exactly. They cut you a little slack sometimes.
Killian sitting 20th in the Big Ten right now in the vault rankings.
Bridget, also a very powerful gymnast. I love watching Bridget on floor and vault. So we'll see here. She gets to start again, and she makes it happen again with that nice Yurchenko full and a solid landing, just a small hop, but again, really nice height off the table. She got blocked, her legs were straight, toes pointed. That was another solid vault for the Hawkeyes.
That previous vault by the Hawkeyes by Agripides, that was a 9.85. That is the highest that the Hawkeyes have put up so far. And now on the bars, we'll see Maddie McHale.
Looks like she's at the very end of her routine here with a nice big double layout. Wow, that was impressive. Only a small hop in the landing. She showed good control, good form.
Previously, Jory Jackard, 9.825. We will wait for McHale's score, but in the meantime, Lauren Garin, 13th ranked in the Big Ten, 9.925, sits 9th all-time in Hawkeye history on the vault.
I absolutely love watching Lauren on vault. She is a powerhouse. She gets amazing height, and you'll see here off the table. Like I said, she really exemplifies what you want to see in a good vault. She just pops. Oh, and a stuck landing. Wow.
And that got everyone into it.
Wow, that will be a very high score for the Hawkeyes. That's so exciting, especially because she is in the anchor spot, which is the most important spot because it's the last one that the judges see. That was incredible from Lauren Garin. Wow.
And they are all very excited. Coach Larissa Libby pumped after that.
They should be. That was amazing.
And now we have Bridget Killian's score, 9.825. We'll wait for Lauren Garin when her score comes in. And to close out This first rotation, Leah Mitchell, sitting 16th in the Big Ten right now. She's been 9.875. She'll prepare for her routine on the bars.
She goes with the mount on the high bar. Really nice first handstand. And she makes her release move. That release move is called a ray. And she'll go into an overshoot. Very clean form, toes pointed. She just has the dismount left now. A little bit short on the last handstand. See if she can get that stuck landing. And she gets it! Wow. Stuck landing on the double tuck dismount. That was a very clean routine. They should be expecting a high score from that. It's clearly a reason why she's in the anchor spot.
And a flawless routine there for the junior from Boynton Beach, Florida. As we will wait for these final scores, the ones counting toward our scores. We'll wait for those to come in. The Hawkeyes have all of their scores complete and a 9.9 for Lauren Guerin on the vault.
That is an incredible score, especially a Yurchenko full doesn't actually start from a 10-0, so it starts from a 9.95 start value. So for Lauren Guerin to get a 9.9 means there was only a 0.05 deduction,
so
which is very small.
Near flawless.
Basically perfect.
And the last few coming in on bars, McHale was a 9.75, and just one remaining there on the bars. Get the final score, and then we will give you a score update as we head to our first break and prepare to move into that second rotation. 49.15 for the Hawkeyes and a 9.825 for Mitchell, 48.5 for the Spartans. Those are our scores. We will step away and be back here in just a moment on BTN Plus. Back here inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, Ben Collin, Jax Kranitz. We're getting ready to start the second rotation. The Hawkeyes lead 49.15 to 48.5 over the Michigan State Spartans. That was the best the Hawkeyes have done so far on the vault.
Yeah, that was a really exciting vault rotation. Just being here and being able to watch that was incredible. I kept saying they were solid and consistent, but it's because I had nothing else to say.
Yeah, they came out and showed up there on the vault.
They really did.
Now today we have Alumni Night here inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. The Hawkeye gymnastics program, it has a long and storied history, and quite a few alums have come back here to watch. Jax, when you break down the history of this program and what this team means to some of the alumni, how would you lay that out? Yeah,
this team, I wouldn't even call it a team. I would call it a family. You could just see the connection between the girls and the coaches. It's such a tight-knit group of people, and I just think it's amazing that can carry on to the generations that have passed, and they're coming back still because they just feel that love from the family. So
they build a strong culture here in Iowa City. on this team, and you can see it. It showed up with the excitement that they bring after every single routine. They're pumped.
Right. And that's what I love to see from the Hawkeyes is the team excitement, because the more they're into it, the more we're into it.
Absolutely, and you get these crowds behind it. A good crowd here tonight in Iowa City.
Very good crowd.
As the Hawkeyes were in their home opener against Air Force and Ball State, just around 1,200. I think we might have passed that tonight. We do appear to have a good turnout here at Carver Hawkeye.
It's definitely got a good energy in the arena tonight. Everyone's excited. Some really good gymnastics going on. It's a good night.
Well, I'm sure starting on vault helps with that as you're right there in front of the crowd, and you start to engage with those fans, kind of go back and forth. And
it's nice to start on vault, too, because sometimes you got those pre-competition jitters, and you can kind of just run them out and get your energy out. And then bars is a little bit more controlled, so it's nice to go there second.
Now, back when you competed, Jax, what would you say was your favorite event?
My favorite event was definitely bars. I loved it. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just fun, and it didn't hurt your ankles.
Yeah,
so,
hey, fair enough. You know, that is not what you want to have happen. Definitely don't want to get injured. And
yep.
So this is your specialty here early.
Yes.
You get the bars, the first two rotations.
Oh,
we have the Spartans and the Hawkeyes on the bars. Now, we were talking during the break, what a 49-1 on that first routine. How impressive that really is for those watching that don't understand how impressive that type of score is.
Yeah, any type of event score that's above a 49 is very impressive. It just shows that your lineup is deep, that you have multiple solid, consistent competitors that can bring their A game when it's time to compete.
Now the Hawkeyes, as we will see later once we get to floor, the Hawkeyes have consistently been in that 49 range, as have been the Spartans. They've been up in that 49 range in a handful of events, beam and floor in particular, both in that 49 range, tiptoeing between 48 and 49. So both of these teams very strong, as we mentioned pre-show, sitting in that 32 and 38th ranking spots, right where they're going to be in contention to make an NCAA run as that season progresses along.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that both of these teams have been able to perform on beam and floor will make the second half of this meet very interesting. You never know what could happen.
I think we're in for an exciting one as this one progresses. Score right now still close, separated by .65 as we get ready to start our second rotation. The Hawkeyes will be on bars and Michigan State on vault. Starting for the Spartans, Alyssa Wiedemann. She's been a 9.7 so far this year already for the sophomore from Springboro, Ohio.
Looks like she's getting ready to go here, taking some deep breaths, trying to calm down so she can make the best of this vault.
Every athlete has a different routine as they prepare.
Very true.
Different pre-competition routines, and some, I'm sure, slightly superstitious to things that you have to do every single time.
Absolutely. Wow, a really nice vault from her. You saw it, she covered the landing a little bit. That will still count as a hop, but she did a good job of showing that it wasn't. But
a little bit of a turn to the side.
Oh, absolutely. Anything you could do.
Karina Tolan, sophomore for the Hawkeyes
there
on the bars.
Goes, her Jaeger to overshoot connection, very clean. She just has the dismount left, see if she can hit that last handstand, and she hits it. She's going to do a full pirouette into a double back dismount. And she gets the landing, not quite a stick, but a very small hop. That will be a very minimal deduction. That was a very clean routine from Karina.
Earlier this season, she was a 9.75. We'll see how this score compares to that. Next up on vault, Chloe Belmore, freshman from DeWitt, Michigan. 2 from DeWitt, Michigan for the Spartans. Tristan Brown, who we saw earlier on the bars, a junior, and Chloe Belmore, the freshman for the Spartans.
Here she goes. And Yurchenko full from her. Wow. Also very clean. Small hop on the landing, but I didn't really see much that the judges would take on that. Her form looked pretty good to me.
What type of deduction might we get on that, the little hop there on the end?
That would probably be about 1/2 tenth to 1/10. It wasn't too big, but again, it's kind of up to the judges to decide. There's rules, but it's also subjective based on how they see it.
Up next on the bars, we have Mackenzie Vance, the sophomore for the Hawkeyes.
Mackenzie has beautiful long lines. She's very tall, so it looks very pretty when she does bars. You don't see a lot of very many gymnasts that are as tall as she is, so it's quite impressive. Here she goes. She's going to do a full pirouette into a double back dismount. And there she goes. That was a very clean routine from Mackenzie.
And for Karina Tolan earlier, 9.775 for her. Our first two vault results, Wiedemann 9.75, as well as Belmore a 9.775. Up next, Ella Douglas 9.825. That's what she did against Nebraska.
Really clean. That was a Yurchenko half, which is worth the same as a Yurchenko full, just a half twist less. Her form is very good. Pointed toes, got good height off the vault. She just had that step forward at the end, though, so that's probably the only place the judges will take on that one.
Just on that landing?
Just on the landing, from what I saw.
And next up on bars for the Hawkeyes, the junior Erin Castle. She was a 9.8 against Maryland. Castle from Boone, Iowa. Another one of the locals here for the Jim Hawks. Previously, Mackenzie Vance 9.7 on the bars.
There she just caught her release move, a Jaeger. She'll go into an overshoot, clean form, legs together. She needs to keep it up throughout the end of this. She's going to do a double layout dismount. Huge double layout for Erin Castle. Wow! Honestly, they might even give her that stick. She did a pretty good job. She stepped a little bit back, so it's kind of up to the judges again to decide whether it's a stick or not. But
we'll see what kind of angle they had on it and what type
hopefully a good one, because I would give it.
Ella Douglas for Michigan State on vault. She was a 9.825, and that was Ashley.
A nice Yurchenko full from her.
Hofflick.
She had a little bit of pike down on the landing. The goal is to be completely straight throughout the air, so she will see a little bit of deduction on that.
Next up on the bars, Alex Greenwald. We've seen her already. We had her on vault. She was a 9.875 against Air Force and Ball State in the Hawkeyes home opener.
She goes mounting the high bar. Very nice first handstand. Catches, So now that she missed her release move, that's clearly not ideal. She will take a 5/10 deduction on that. She has 30 seconds to chalk up before the judges start deducting for time. But Alex is known to be a very resilient competitor, so she should come back and be able to finish this routine strong.
Coach Vince Smurrow preparing. Alex Greenwald getting her back up there on the bars.
A toe handstand into a packed salto. Again, like I said, she's really finishing up that routine like the fall never happened. That's exactly what you like to see. That's exactly the kind of trait you see in a good competitor. She do a double layout dismount. Wow, a very clean dismount. The rest of her routine was very clean.
Just before her, Erin Castle 9.7. And now on vault, we will see Leah Mitchell competing in that all-around.
Wow, a nice Yurchenko full from her. Again, I really liked that vault because she had a controlled landing. She did hop, but it wasn't out of control. It was clear that she stopped and she saluted.
Mitchell, the junior, sits 21st in the Big Ten Conference in that event. Hoffelick 9.775 on the previous run on vault. Mitchell looking for something around that 9.8 range. As next up on the bars, Claire Cadgy, the all Big Ten representative for the Hawkeyes.
I absolutely love watching Claire Cadgy's bars. Her lines and her form are just very clean, and that's the kind of thing that separates gymnasts, because a lot of them are doing similar skills, but it's the look that they have that separates them.
Absolutely. Some other scores that we got in: Leah Mitchell 9.8 on the vault. And now we'll see Claire Cadgy. As we mentioned, the senior from Vancouver, Canada. As a first-team All-Big Ten representative. She's been a 9.9 in her career. She hasn't done that yet this year.
Looking good from Claire Cadgy. Very clean. She hits that last handstand perfectly. She's going to go into a double layout dismount. Wow. Chest a little bit low on the landing, but other than that, routine very clean. I saw very little deduction in that.
Next up on the vault, Nia Smith, 17th in the Big Ten rankings right now. She has been a 9.825. Smith, freshman.
Very nice Yurchenko full. Again, she had that control on the landing, small hop. She had a nice block off the table. That should be a high score.
And the score for Alex Greenwald, a 9 flat on the bars. Cadgy's score is in the works, and we'll see that here soon, as that was the final vault for Michigan State in their scoring lineup. And Allison Steffensmeyer, the freshman for the Hawkeyes, she's ranked 10th in the Big Ten on the bars, a 9.925, and 6th all-time in Hawkeye Gym Hawk history.
Allison has beautiful lines on bars. That's why I love watching her so much. Her routine looks so flowy, as you'll see. She hits that first handstand. And a very nice piped Jaeger. And into a pack salto. This routine is looking very clean so far. You can see her toes are extremely pointed, legs together. She just has the dismount left, and she's hit every handstand so far, so if she can get this landing, it should be a big score. And a small hop from her, but everything else looks very clean.
Claire Cadgy previously 9.725. Michigan State wrapped up on the vault, 49 even for them. Both teams now on the vault being able to hit that 49 mark.
And that is what's making tonight so exciting. We have so much good gymnastics.
And we will wait to see what Steffensmeyer's score is before we step away. If her score doesn't surpass the 9 even, Michigan State will have a .45 lead at halfway through, but we will wait and see.
It definitely will pass that 9-0 mark.
Now, Jax, you want to break down how the scoring works for anybody that's new to this? How does the scoring work? You've got 6 going, but only 5?
Yeah, so basically there's 6 people in your lineup, and then only the top 5 scores count. So if you have a fall like the Hawkeyes did, they were able to, the competitors that competed after the fall showed really great mental toughness in knowing that their score was definitely going to count. So, here we have Maddie Cam Schroeder as an exhibition.
A quick exhibition run here before we step away. Steffensmeyer's score 9.725. So that will move the Hawkeyes into the lead at halfway through, 97.775 to 97.5 for the Spartans. It's very close here in Iowa City.
Okay, yeah, because the only thing I was struggling on the little running thing.
You see Maddie Kamschroeder doing an exhibition routine, which means that their score doesn't actually count towards the team, but it's just for athletes to get a little bit more experience out on the floor. So she's going to finish up after that fall.
Kamschroeder, the junior from Overland Park, Kansas.
She was finishing up. She just has the dismount. Very clean handstands. And a big double layout from her with a clean landing. She did a good job coming back from that fall.
And we will step away and be right back here momentarily on BTN Plus for the second half of our gymnastics action here from Iowa City.
Competition results are oftentimes determined by a team's ability to stay on this event. This event is the ultimate testament to toughness and the ability to handle pressure. This apparatus is approximately 4 inches wide, 16 feet long, and 4 feet on the ground. We are required to include many different elements in order to receive a small distance in body. These elements include acrobatic skills, dance elements, and leaps and poses, and of course assist in our floor consistency. Reductions can be taken for long pauses, wobbles, inadequate angles and leaps, and worst case scenario, a fall. Mental cues are relayed in our heads throughout our routines, so if it looks like we're talking to ourselves, we probably are.
Michigan State 97.475 and Hawkeyes 97.775. Sunday, June 21st. Camp 2 is a high-performance camp for levels 8 to 8. Dates for this session are Friday, July 10th. For more information, pick up a flyer at any marketing table inside Glover Huntley Arena, or go to summercamps@iowagymnastics.com for more information.
Back inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, Ben Collin, Jax Kranitz. The Hawkeyes lead by 0.3 right now as we start our third rotation. We will see Iowa on the beam and Michigan State on floor. This is an area that Michigan State has excelled on the floor exercise. What are you most excited about as they get ready to take on the floor?
Absolutely. Like you said, Michigan State has some very strong floor workers, and I'm just excited to see them get out there and perform their stuff.
Fourth in the Big Ten right now is Leah Mitchell, the junior for the Spartans. She's been a 9.95. She did that in that performance against Nebraska.
Yeah, she will definitely be very exciting to watch. Quite the performer, very strong tumbler. I'm excited.
She'll come in here as the anchor. And we start on beam. Allie Gilchrist, the sophomore for the Hawkeyes from Norwalk, Iowa. 9.775 is what she's been so far this year.
Allie is known for her consistency on beam. She's very solid. She's showing good poise during her dance. She's going to show an acro series first, a back handspring, back pike. Very solid, no deduction on the landing on that. Little wobble, but she recovered on a switch half leap. It's a very difficult leap. Nice side aerial. The full turn is a skill that's in every single beam routine. Everyone's got to have it. So We'll see everyone do that. She just had a very nice side summy. It's a D-level skill. Switch leap split jump, very clean. This routine is packed with skills. And a nice gainer dismount to what it looked like a stuck landing. I'm not quite sure, but
A little bit of a wobble it almost looked like, but
a little wobble, but I think she did a good job covering it up. I think she gets the stick on that one.
as now we move over to the floor, Tristan Brown for Michigan State. 9.85 so far as she starts off this lineup for the Spartans. That is very strong.
First pass here, double pike, clean landing, very controlled, good height. She's having fun, showing off her dance here. Team is getting into it. Switch side to a popa, difficult lead pass. She showed good split on that. The judges look for a 180-degree split, so if your legs are completely straight out.
And now generally we'll see 2 or 3 passes depending on the skills, right?
Exactly. Looks like this routine is probably gonna have 3. She just had a 1.5 twist to a front layout. Difficult combination pass. We love to see those facial expressions on floor. Oh, she's really getting into it. This is a fun routine to watch. Here she goes into her last pass. She does a double tuck and she gets it. Very nice routine. She should definitely be proud of that one. The team now running onto the floor to congratulate her.
And next up on beam, we will see Aaron Castle, junior for the Hawkeyes. Quick change to the lineup there for Coach Larissa Libby. When they make those last-minute changes, is that ever a little bit nerve-wracking when all of a sudden you're just thrown into the fire almost?
Yeah, definitely, but you're always taught to be ready for anything, so you gotta kind of keep your mental game intact. So if you do get thrown in, you can perform for your team, because that's what you're there to do.
And we've seen Aaron Castle already today. The uneven bars.
I love watching Erin on beam because she really shows off her dance. You can tell she's very into it, making every move count. There's that full turn I talked about earlier.
In the first routine, we saw Allie Gilchrist 9.725.
Really nice handspring layout from Erin. It's a difficult acro series. So far I'm seeing very stable beam work from Erin right now. She needs to keep this consistency throughout the rest of the routine. Very clean front tuck to a jump. So she gets connection bonus from doing that. She'll go into her dismount now. Round off 1.5. Very good, very clean. She had a small hop forward on that landing, but in the air, her form was very good. Nice routine from Erin Castle.
That was the first time she's been on beam so far this year.
That's always a little bit nerve-wracking, so I'd say she did a very good job.
We move over to the floor, Nia Smith. She's been a 9.85 so far, the freshman.
Love her floor music. Here she goes. Front tuck, step out through the double tuck. You see her tumbling is so high, she almost had time to see the ground before she landed. That's what these judges love to see. She's really working it out here on the floor. This is some fun dance.
That's the thing that I think is the most unique about women's gymnastics. They really get to be creative here with their floor routines.
Absolutely. She has a switch ring to a switch side. Difficult lead pass, she will get bonus from that.
In the first routine that we saw from the Spartans, Tristan Brown, 9.725.
She goes into her second pass, round off 1.5 front layout. Controlled on the landing, good form. She's really just keeping that personality throughout this routine. Wow, interesting move, I like that. She's going to her last pass. She's a double pike. The solid landing. Wow. That was a very good routine for the Spartans.
And next up on the beam, that'll be Bridget Killian, the sophomore for the Hawkeyes. She's sitting 21st in the Big Ten right now, and 9.85 is her best.
Bridget is extremely consistent.
And you mentioned Erin Castle and how proud she should be after that first routine of the year. 9.75 for her.
Yes.
A great score.
Very good for Erin Castle. And a nice series to start out this routine for Bridget. Now she goes into a front tuck. Very solid. No movement on that landing. That's exactly what you love to see. Switch leap combination. Really showing off her dance. The judges love to see that as well. And a round off double full dismount. She almost gets that stick. She really fights for it. Just takes a small hop, but again, consistent, clean routine for the Hawkeyes.
And on floor, Nia Smith was a 9.8, and Chloe Belmore up next for the Spartans, freshman from DeWitt, Michigan. Saw Belmore earlier on the vault.
You hear the teammates cheering for her. It's always fun to hear.
And between the teams, the score is very tight right now, so
Very
every
tight.
single routine is extremely important.
Every single motion and every single routine
Absolutely.
is extremely important. Got that really intense look on her face. Really draws in the crowd. She's going into her first pass here. Nice double tuck. Solid landing. And again, this is why the Spartans do so well on floor. Their choreography is there and their tumbling is so strong. They've really just got it all.
And very intense music selection for them as well. It shows that they mean business when they get to the floor.
Absolutely. So we're going to a second pass here. A front layout Rudy, which is a 1.5 front twist. Difficult skill. And that was a clean routine. She only had 2 passes, so there's definitely there's fewer places for deduction on that.
You really packed those skills into those 2 passes.
Exactly.
Bridget Killian put down a 9.775 on the beam, and now it's Claire Cadgy, the senior for the Hawkeyes, on beam.
Claire is really known for not only her consistency, but her artistry. If you watch her dance, her movements are very precise. She goes into her acro series, back handspring, back layout, and she gets that solid. Again, you're seeing that nice choreography between the side aerial, no movement. Switch half to a switch jump. Like I said earlier, that is a very difficult leap. To a gainer dismount, and she gets the stuck landing. Wow, that was an incredible routine for the Hawkeyes. They are looking at a huge score for that.
And very strong there from Claire Cadgy. Earlier this year against Maryland, she was a 9.8. We'll see how the score compares there. Ella Douglas, 9.925 against Nebraska. We see her next on floor.
You can tell she's already pulled the crowd into this routine. Very intense music. And she is just showing it off. She goes into her first pass. A double pike. She had amazing height on that. The judges look for height and landing. She got it. Second pass, front layout, front full. Execution was very good. I've seen little deduction on her tumbling so far. Nice 180 leaps. Floor has so many components to it. You have tumbling, dance, and leaps. So it really just brings together the whole package if you can do it all.
All of those pieces playing in.
Into her last pass, to a double tuck, to a stuck landing with a lunge. Very clean routine for the Spartans.
And from Belmore just before, we had seen a 9.675. And Claire Cadgy on the beam, 9.85, as now we go back over to beam Danny Castillo, the freshman.
She's a fun mount. You just saw she almost went backwards off the beam. Another thing to set gymnasts apart. A clean front aerial to switch jump combination. Difficult skill. Her acro series back handspring back layout, very clean, good form. See her smile there a little bit, she's having fun. Showing off that dance. Switch leap straddled quarter. We're seeing little movement from Danny, which poses well for the Hawkeyes. Just finish it up with a dismount, back handspring 1.5 to the stuck landing. That will be a big score for the Hawkeyes once again.
As we mentioned, Kaji just before 9.85, and we'll see another good one there from Castillo. And we move back over to the floor. Ashley Hoffelick. She's 8th in the Big Ten on the floor, a 9.9 against Nebraska.
Really good consistency for both these teams on both of these events right now.
And the way the Spartans have been performing on floor, expect a massive routine right here.
Absolutely. Here she goes into her first pass, a double pike. Very high, she gets amazing height. All of their gymnasts on floor so far have showed that really impeccable height. Dance, you can tell each of their personalities are choreographed into their routines. Her second pass here, 1.5 front layout. That landing should have no deduction. Looks like she's having fun out there, getting into her dance. Goes into her last pass. Round off back handspring, double back. The very clean landing, no movement, chest up. The judges love to see that you land with your chest up because that means you have control and good height.
And a strong routine.
Very strong routine for the Spartans again.
Castillo, 9.825 on beam. And our final Hawkeye on beam, Mackenzie Vance, a sophomore. She's been a 9.8 as well, so the Hawkeyes finishing with one of their strongest.
Here she goes with her backhands from back layout series. Small movement on the landing, but nothing major. Another difficult at-throw skill. Mackenzie has beautiful lines. Really just show off her artistry on this event. Leap pass there. She has a little bit more movement than we've seen from the other routines, so she will take small deductions on those. She goes into her dismount, will be an aerial full. There she goes. Goes for that stuck landing, but doesn't quite get it. Small hop. Should probably be about 1/10 in deduction. But a strong routine for Mackenzie and the Hawkeyes.
And now we move over to the floor for our final floor routine for the Spartans. This is Leah Mitchell, 9.95 against Nebraska.
Wow.
4th in the Big Ten.
That is incredible.
And the Spartans are needing a huge routine out of her right here.
And from the beginning of this, it looks like they're going to get it. She looks ready.
In the routine just prior, Hoffelick 9.8.
She has a double tuck for her first pass. She lands completely straight up. That is so hard to do. She managed to do it. She goes into her second pass. Round off 1.5 front layout. Very clean. As you can see, the teammates are getting into her routine as well. It's fun to see that. They're clapping along, getting the audience involved. She had a little eyebrow movement there.
It's those little things
It
that
really
can bring
is.
the extra points.
That little bit of personality into her last pass. She does a double pike. Very solid landing on that as well. Chest down a little bit more than on her first pass, but very minimal.
And our scores, Mackenzie Vance 9.65 on beam. That's the final scoring routine that we'll see on beam. We will have Allison Steffensmeyer doing an exhibition while we wait for the scores on floor to come in for the Spartans, and then we will give you an update on the overall team scores as we prepare to head into that 4th and final rotation. A very strong routine there from Leah Mitchell.
Very strong. Both teams had amazing performances on these events, just making the meet that much more exciting. Here's Allison.
9.825 for Mitchell. They'll close out, the Hawkeyes will close out beam at 48.925 and 48.975 for the Spartans on floor.
We'll see on this exhibition routine, Steffensmeyer did take a fall, but that score does not count towards the overall team score. She did fall on her dismount, but every routine is experience.
Absolutely.
So,
the more reps that you can get in, the more it's going to help out.
exactly.
And right now, team scores as we head to break. The Hawkeyes 146.7, the Spartans 146.45. Still very close as we head into that final rotation. Jax, what are you most excited about as we get ready to see the Hawkeyes on floor and we'll see the Spartans on beam?
Well, like you said, we've seen amazing gymnastics from both teams. I absolutely love watching the Iowa Hawkeyes on floor. Their personalities shine through in their choreography, which is actually done by their head coach, Larissa Libby, which is pretty rare. A lot of times teams don't have their head coach doing their choreography, so we've got a coach doing it all. But I'm excited to see that. and just see this consistency, and I like to see the girls have fun.
These two teams just separated by a quarter of a point. We will step away and be back here from Carver Hawkeye Arena in just a moment. Back inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, Ben Collin, Jax Kranitz, and we're getting ready here for the fourth rotation. We got a close one, separated by just a quarter of a point. The Hawkeyes are on floor, and the Spartans are on beam. These are arguably their two best disciplines. The Hawkeyes 15th in the nation on floor, and the Spartans 12th in the nation on beam. We're going to have an exciting finish here inside Carver Hawkeye.
I am absolutely hyped up for this rotation. We've got the Spartans on beam, who always produce consistent gymnastics, clean, beautiful. And then we have the Hawkeyes on floor, just explosive and fun. I am so ready for this.
And we talked about this a little bit in the pre-show, but Lauren Guerin, she's a 9.95, third all-time in Hawkeye history on the floor, and currently ranked first in the Big Ten.
Yeah, Lauren Guerin is extraordinarily good at floor. The height she gets on her tumbling passes, the cleanness of her lines, everything is just amazing, and I'm really excited to watch it tonight.
She will close it all out for the Hawkeyes, the sophomore, who has just been fantastic this year in her second year campaign there for the Hawkeyes.
She just keeps on improving.
And right now on beam, that is Alyssa Wiedemann, 24th in the Big Ten. She's been a 9.8.
Nice handspring layout from her to start off her routine. Again, you're seeing that artistry in the dance. Going into a cat leap to another difficult acro skill. She's a little bit low on the landing of that. Her leap pass. A little bit short of 180, so she will see a small deduction from that. Just into the dismount, a gainer full forward. I've actually never seen that dismount in college gymnastics.
An exciting end there to that routine for the Spartans. And now we move to floor. Alex Greenwald, the sophomore from Coral Springs, Florida. She was a 9.85 against Maryland.
Extremely intense music. And you see the entire team doing the choreography.
I always find that interesting that the whole team is doing it as well. And
amazing full in from her. Wow.
The rest of the team still has to go. There's still 5 more that have to go, and they're doing everyone else's routine.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about the team with this team here for the Hawkeyes.
And in as close as a battle as these two teams are, absolutely.
As I mentioned earlier, her first pass was a full in, which is a higher difficulty than what we've seen so far on floor from the Spartans. This routine will only have 2 passes. Her last pass is going to be a 2.5 twist to a front flip combination. That 2.5 to a front, and she gets it. A very solid landing on that. A nice start for the Hawkeyes from Alex Greenwald. Very excited about that routine. She killed it.
And we move over to beam. 9.725 for Wiedemann in their first routine, and now it's Chloe Belmore. 16th in the Big Ten is the freshman.
You see a cat leap to a side aerial. Clean, minimal movement. There's a front toss with a slight wobble. She recovered well on that, but she will see a small deduction. She actually just did another front toss, but she was supposed to connect that to a back tuck. We saw her foot move before she did the back tuck, which means she will not get the connection from the judges. So her score will suffer slightly from that. there's actually a requirement for the gymnast to be down on the beam at least one time during their routine. So that's why you see people mounting like that or getting down during their routine. Nice solid lead pass.
Meet that requirement.
The gainer full off the side. Good finish. Slightly shaky routine, but she's definitely stayed in it through the end. That's what you like to see.
Up next on floor, that'll be Allie Gilchrist, the sophomore. She's been a 9.775. She did that against Maryland. We saw Alex Greenwald. She was a 9.6 in her routine.
I absolutely love Allie's floor routine. She has a lot of personality and good dance. I'm excited for this one. She goes into her first pass. Front handspring, front double full. Very high difficulty from that skill. She does 2 twists forwards. She's going to her second pass here. Round off 1.5 to a front pike. Again, solid landing on that. She did step backwards instead of forward, so that's where you might see some of that deduction in the score. What I love about the Hawkeyes routines is each person has a place where everyone shouts Hawks. I just love it because it gets the entire team involved.
That's the way Coach Larissa Libby likes it, getting the team involved into these routines.
That's really what separates the Hawkeyes, their team spirit. Allie's going into her last pass, which is a front handspring Rudy, and she gets it not solid. Good for Allie. She should definitely be proud of that routine that she just produced for the Hawkeyes. Consistent, clean.
And we'd seen a 9.775 out of her earlier this year. We move back over to beam. Elena Rabin. She's been a 9.8. The sophomore from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina for the Spartans.
A standing layout step out. Very clean. No movement on that. Good leap pass. She's hitting those splits. She looks very confident up there. Side aerial. Wow. She is solid. Again, really clean. We love to see that confidence from gymnasts when they're up on the beam. She has a running punch front full dismount with a small hop, but that should be a big score for the Spartans.
Previously on beam, 9.35 for Belmore, and we saw 9.775 from Gilchrist on floor. Next up, Ariana Agrapides, the freshman.
This routine just has so much sass. I love it. She shows it off so well. She's in her first pass, front handspring step out to a double pike, and she lands with her chest completely up. Very difficult to do, and she does it with no effort. You can see her smiling. Second pass, round off 1.5, front pike. Again, very clean landing. I'm seeing minimal deductions on this routine so far. Nice leaps. She will definitely get those 180s. The team clapping along. Absolutely love this routine. She goes into her last pass. The round off back handspring, double back, and she gets it. Her chest was a little bit down, but she definitely was able to pull that out. Very good routine for the Hawkeyes.
A strong routine for Agripides on the beam. It'll be Nia Smith. She's been a 9.85 so far. From Raven, we saw a 9.825. Smith, just a freshman, West Bloomfield, Michigan.
So impressive to see these freshmen competing because they have very little experience out in a big arena like this, and they're able to just handle themselves very well.
Especially here early in the season where they're not far into their schedule. It's still very much in the early stages.
So you see she almost fell on that back handspring layout series. She will take a pretty big deduction on that, but not as big as she would have if she fell. So a good fight from her. No matter what, you want to fight to stay on the beam. She's a switch leap to a straddle quarter. She has nice splits. She has the dismount left, round off double back. She gets a little stuttery on the landing, but that is an extremely difficult dismount to perform. You don't see very many college gymnasts performing that one anymore.
And closes out with some difficulty there. Right now the two teams separated by half a point. We have Bridget Killian on the floor, the sophomore for the Hawkeyes.
Bridget's first pass will be a triple full, which you also don't see in college very much. The very high difficulty pass.
As we work through this lineup for the Hawkeyes, you see the difficulty of the skills that they're performing.
Absolutely.
Just climbing.
There she goes with that triple full. Looks like she might have stepped out of bounds. I'm not sure if the judges will take that. It's a front full to a front pike, very clean. Like you said, the Hawkeyes are stacking this difficulty, which definitely sets them apart.
Trying to load up that lineup as they go along and build toward what we've been waiting for all day, which is Lauren Guerin to close out their lineup.
Just has the last pass left. Round off that handspring, double back, very high, gets the landing, chest up. Does a very clean routine from Bridget Killian. The only major deduction was on that first pass. If she did step out of bounds, that would be a 1/10 deduction. But her other passes looked clean.
We move over to beam Leah Mitchell. Nia Smith was a 9.7. on her routine on the beam. And Agripides 9.775 on floor. And as I mentioned, this is Leah Mitchell, the junior for the Spartans.
She looks very confident up there. Good poise and dance. Gets the judges prepared to see a good routine. Back handspring, back layout. So she just did a triple series, which is the first we've seen tonight. Higher difficulty gets her a little bit more bonus towards her starting value. It's those kind of things that set gymnasts apart. She does a front aerial. Looks like she pulled her chin forward a little bit on that skill, which is what will cause you to fall backwards. Have that wobble. Solid leap pass. She has beautiful lines and beautiful dance, which definitely adds to the routine. Just the dismount now. Round off 1.5. Small hop on the landing. But overall, pretty solid routine.
And on the floor, a 9.55 for Bridget Killian, and now it's Erin Castle, the junior. She was a 9.875 against Penn State.
She goes into her first pass. Starting out the routine very energetic. It's a round off double pike. Good height on that. She gets the good landing. You can tell she's having fun out there. She's smiling.
And an awesome song selection there from
absolutely.
Coach Larissa Libby.
Oh, this is one of my favorites by far.
This gets the fans into it and everything.
Oh, 100%. There she goes, a front handspring to a Rudy. You hear everyone just yell tequila.
Yep.
Such a fun routine.
They have their Go Hawks, and then they add in some different cheers throughout each of the routines.
Yeah, just switch it up a little bit.
Absolutely. That last beam performance for Michigan State, 9.725.
Clean last pass from Erin Castle, 1.5 front layout. She closes out very well. That was such a good routine. She should definitely be proud of that performance for the Hawkeyes.
And Erin Castle excited. We head over to beam for Michigan State's final routine of the evening. Ella Douglas, she sits 6th in the Big Ten with a best score this season of a 9.95. Very, very strong.
Again, you see that confident face. Oh, she just performed a double turn, which is extremely difficult on beam. It is worth more than a full turn because she turns twice.
Definitely trying to woo the judges here in the early stages.
It just might work. She has a side aerial to back layout. We're seeing some unique combinations in this routine. It's definitely going to intrigue the judges, and she's performing them well. It's a switch half lead combination to a Sassone. Nice split from her. Goes into an aerial back full dismount with a stuck landing. That was a very interesting and clean routine for the Spartans.
And that'll close out the day for Michigan State. And now what we've been waiting for, Lauren Guerin on floor. She leads the Big Ten.
I am very excited to watch Lauren on floor right now. She is known for her performance on this event. We have the first pass coming up. Round off back handspring. Huge full in. A full twisting double back. She performs it effortlessly. You see even the height she gets on those leaps. Putting on a show tonight.
As Guerin shows off her talent, one of the best to ever do it for the Hawkeyes.
The whole team is definitely excited about her right now. Here she goes. This will be her last pass of the routine. And she gets it. So much power. Wow. An incredible routine from Guerin. That was very impressive. Her tumbling is off the charts. It's something she has, and it's amazing.
And Lauren Guerin closes it out on a high note for the Hawkeyes. Michigan State's final score is in 195.275 after Ella Douglas. Another exhibition run. Ella Douglas was a 9.85 on beam. And we wait for Lauren Guerin's score. And once that is in, we will have the final results. here from Carver Hawkeye Arena. A strong routine there for the Hawkeye sophomore.
Yeah, that was definitely incredible. Going to be a high score for the Hawkeyes. It's important to have someone.
And there it is, 9.875. That will move the Hawkeyes back into the lead, 195.45 to 195.275. That'll give the Hawkeyes the win here in Iowa City. A couple more exhibition runs that we will have here today.
This is definitely a close competition. Very good gymnastics from both sides. Extremely competitive, and the Hawkeyes managed to pull it out.
Well, we got an awesome show today, and now to close it out, an exhibition run here from Claire Cadgy.
Claire Cadgy.
Your all Big Ten award winner here on floor.
She is incredible on floor. Like I said on beam, Claire's dance is something to watch. She will do a 1.5 step out to a double back. Very strong. You can see her legs were completely together on the twist. Her chest was up on the landing. She is really working the dance here. Everyone is just loving it. You see her do that front tuck because each routine needs to have a forward moving skill, so it covers that requirement. Incredible double pike. Flawless. A strong routine from Claire Cadgy.
Closing out that exhibition run there.
Very fun to watch.
And an exciting way to end an exciting meet here in Iowa City. And we mentioned the Hawkeyes do pick up the win by a very small margin.
Very small. It just goes to show you in gymnastics, every little detail counts.
And we will get you the scores there for Claire Cadgy on floor. We mentioned the two Spartans were tallying up an all-around scores today. Nia Smith, 38.375, and Leah Mitchell for the Spartans, 39.15 in the all-around for her. And now, Jax, when you break down what we saw today, we had a great meet here in front of us between the Hawkeyes and the Spartans. The Hawkeyes 6 spots lower in the rankings, getting the upset here at home. What are your takeaways from what we saw this evening?
We really did have a great meet. I absolutely loved getting to see the action right in front of me. The Hawkeyes coming in with the lower spots, sometimes that can be difficult mentally, knowing you're going against a tougher team, but they managed to bring out their A game and show not only physical talent, but mental strength. Pull out that win.
And a good show there for the Hawkeyes. As we mentioned, 195.575. A good showing for the Hawkeyes. We'll try to get you that score there from Claire Cadgy once that is inputted in, and we actually just get it right now, 9.725 for the Hawkeye senior on floor. As we mentioned, the Hawkeyes picking up the win here. We will wrap it up here on BTN Plus. Fans that are watching at home, don't go away, however. We will turn it over here to our PA announcer here inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, Greg Bentler, as he will bring you the ceremony live from Iowa City. So please stay put for that as we wrap up our show here. Jax, any final thoughts from your first time calling a gymnastics meet?
Very fun. Absolutely love the action, and these girls are amazing, and I love watching them do their thing.
As we mentioned, the final score, Iowa 195.45, Michigan State 195.275. Please stick around for the ceremony. We will turn it over to Greg Bentler to handle that. For Jax Kranitz, I'm Ben Collin. That's all on BTN Plus.
Your attention to the floor. We will now begin the awards presentation. Presenting the awards tonight, the Jim Hawk alums, Katie Newth and Nikki Yao. First, we will recognize the winners of each event. The winner on vault with a score of 9.9 from Iowa, Lauren Garrett. The winner on bars with a score of 9.825 from Michigan State, Jory Jacker. We have a two-way tie on the beat with a score of 9.85 from Michigan State, Gabriella Douglas. From Iowa, Claire Catchy. The winner on floor with a score of 9.875 from Iowa, Lauren Garrett. For team standout MVPs, our first award from Michigan State, Leah Mitchell. Tonight's standout MVP award for the Iowa Hawkeyes, Aaron Castle. Now for the team scores. In second place with a score of 195.275, the Michigan State Spartans. And in first place with a score of 195.45, your University of Iowa Hawkeyes. Fans, let's give all of our competitors in tonight's meet a big round of applause. All right, fans, it's time to do the cha-cha slide. Come on down.